Hey, what's up everybody? Been away for a while, was off on summer vacation. It took me a little bit to get back into the swing of things here, but there is a video because I did train while I was on vacation, and so I'll talk a little bit in this video about how that affected me. How did I find a place to train? Where did I train? If there was a climate environment change, how did that affect me? There's a lot of issues happening at airports around the world these days, so how did that affect my training and planning? All right, so where did all of this happen? I was staying in the southwest coast of the Iberian Peninsula in Andalusia, Spain. You can think of this as being between Gibraltar and the border of Portugal. And so when I Googled places to train, I found this place here in Huelva. It was about a 25-minute drive away by freeway. This place here, RV Strength Gym, a proper powerlifting gym. Pretty much the equipment focuses on raw powerlifting. It's a kind of an industrial park here, rollaway doors here, in a kind of warehouse setting. And that door on the left actually has a thumb reader, which proved to be very valuable, very useful, because it made the gym accessible 24 hours. And I did have an occasion once early on the weekend to go early. Taking a look inside the gym now, you see on the walls a wide variety of bars. There was not air conditioning, so there's a huge ventilator there. You'll see a lot of red, including right there. Did you see them? Red training slippers. And why not? The Spanish flag, after all, does feature red. And by coincidence, I did show up in the spirit. Look at me, wearing red shorts. Taking a look here in the locker room, there was a shower there, a couple of toilets, a bench where I could put my bag, and a place to hang some things. And oops, looking across, ladies' room. Fortunately, nobody was there. There's the ventilator again, and looking out across the gym, you see, get a sense of the overall environment and layout. So now, time to train. And there's the first hint of how this vacation affected me. The day card you saw for this sequence of videos actually said day 2, and I trained 5 days a week. So it did mean between the travel, getting situated in the hotel, I did get to use the thumb scan, but I needed a day to come down administratively to set that up. So actually by the time I got to the gym, ready to train, I decided to skip a day. Day 1 is mostly upper body accessory work for me, so I felt okay skipping that. And then coming into day 2 here, which was starting off with comp style bench. Now, again, there isn't air conditioning in this place, so you'll see a lot of things here, what I like to call, I had my own fan. I wish it meant I had a person supporter there cheering me on, but it just means there was a small ventilator there, helped to move air around and keep me cool. On day 2, the only comp powerlifting lift is the bench press, so now I moved on to a bunch of upper body accessories, and there you see again, I got my own fan, small ventilator moving things around, and then it's off to, a combo set. Looks like I'm chilling or taking a siesta here, but I'm just getting ready to pop myself up for some side planks. Moving on with some bicep curls. And then you see here, I had some nice lighting. That looked pretty good here, I have to say. And then that was it for this training day. And here you see how the airport conditions affected me during this training. I'm wearing some 5mm sleeves and some slightly heeled shoes that have a 1990s bodybuilding theme. And that's just because of airport conditions across Europe with flight delays, flight cancellations, and a backlog of like 15,000 unprocessed pieces of luggage. There was a chance I would lose my luggage. So I didn't want to lose my comp and training apparel, and so I brought these, which I had from years past. The weights in the gym are competition-style kilo plates, and they're a bit deceiving. They're very thin. So just pointing out here, it's 3 plates on the side here. You saw me propping myself up there, and the point of the exaggerated breathing sound effect is, well, here's some context. I live in Amsterdam, where the average temperature year-round is about 14 degrees Celsius, and a hot day for us would be 30 degrees Celsius. So then I'm on vacation here in the south of Andalusia, where it was 40 degrees plus Celsius. and I could feel the impacts on my body of the heat. Number one, it felt to me like there was less oxygen in the air. And so, with my lung condition, that means it makes things much more difficult. I don't have a video of it, but along the way on this day, since I'm doing, these compound movements, hip and knee dominant, there were some sets where I had to perform them in a pause rep manner. Meaning if I had to do 5, I would do 4, catch my breath, come back and finish the set so I could get the total reps for each movement. Better technique on these Bulgarian split squats means that after I hated them for years, I kind of like doing them now. And a benefit of the RPE-based training is that these leg curls seemed very difficult for me. I don't know if it was a different moment arm length or something, but I could get an effective training with much less weight, and it felt the way it needed to. And still got a bit of a calf pump here to finish out this workout. Day 4 is another bench day for me, and in this case it's the wide grip, so my hands are just outside the 82 centimeter rings. Nothing too eventful here, except you'll see on my elbows I am not wearing my SBD sleeves. This is another brand that I started with many years ago, and again, it's just because there was a risk of losing my luggage that I didn't want to bring my good stuff. So I brought this. I don't care if I lose these. Now this was kind of a treat. I don't get to use this very often, a seal row machine. I kind of like doing this, and I try to replicate it at home, but not very good results. A little bit of a delt pump here, and then moving on to some additional chest and the standing skull crushers before finishing it with a complete arm pump and some easy bar curls. And now on to the 5th and final day of this training. Now, if you look at my body and my skin here, you'll see a kind of glow. It's not baby oil. I'm not trying to get ready for a bodybuilding presentation here and pose. I'm just hot. I'm sweating from the warm-up, because this set here is my top set, my first working set. And so, yeah, that's how it was. Now, in this set, a problem I was having at the time was completing the second phase of the deadlift and coming through with the hip extension. You'll see a couple sets here, a couple of the reps are a little bit soft. This one there, I didn't quite finish. Probably would not have counted in competition, but that was the problem I was having at the time. And into some back off sets now. Just getting a different camera angle so I can look at my overall technique and performance of the lift from a different view. Since these are back off sets, the weight is a little bit less, of course. And you see that the hip extension on that second phase doesn't give me as much trouble here. So it's really at the higher intensities that it seems to be a problem on lockout. All right, and some of you might have noticed something on this day. In the gym, I'm usually Mr. Mask. I always wear a mask, and you'll notice on this day I haven't worn a mask at all. But this training session took place on an early Saturday morning. I think I was in the gym at 7 a.m. Had to use the thumb scanner and open the doors and turn on all the lights. So nobody was around. So in that situation, I felt comfortable. Now, a little bit later, you'll see in this next angle of the next set, yeah, there was one other person in the gym. You'll see them way over there by the mirror. I guess we were about 10 meters apart, so I still felt comfortable. So it's not that it was so hot that the heat could somehow, destroy the virus molecules if there were any, but just my level of safety and comfort with almost nobody around, then I was okay to take off the mask and expose my face. All right, deadlifts and squats. The main power lifts are done, so onto some accessories work. Again, using RPE based for that hamstring curl. Some pull throughs here. I had to weight them a little bit extra. So this is my very last set on my very last day. With all this heat, you can see the relief on my face. Oh, I'm finally done. And that's it for my Trained in Spain week. Got to stick with my program over there at RV Strength in Huelva. And it wasn't all about working out. It was family vacation after all. This guy here, I don't know where he learned to flex a bicep. If you enjoyed this video, saw something interesting about it, please give it a like. I'm back from vacation now, trying to publish a video every week, so subscribe so you can catch the next one. And here's where you can catch me on all the places. Thanks again for tuning in. Hasta.